A 2-year-old girl toddles toward the family pool. She's alone. The gate is open. In exactly 4 seconds, she'll be underwater. But watch what happens when the family's German Shepherd realizes what's about to unfold. You know, we install security cameras to catch burglars, right? To see who's stealing packages off our porches. But sometimes these cameras capture something else entirely. Moments that make you believe in guardian angels. Except these angels have 4 legs, wet noses, and absolutely zero training for what they're about to do. I've watched hundreds of hours of security footage for this, and I'm telling you, what you're about to hear will change the way you look at the family pet sleeping at your feet right now. Let's go back to little Emma and that pool. It's a Tuesday afternoon in Phoenix, Arizona. Mom's inside folding laundry. Dad's at work. The landscaper left the pool gate open. Just one of those things, you know. Nobody's fault, really. But it's about to become everyone's nightmare. Emma sees the water. She's fascinated by it, the way toddlers are. The camera shows her walking faster now, that unsteady toddler gait, arms out for balance. She's maybe 6 feet from the edge when Kaiser, this big, beautiful German Shepherd, lifts his head from where he's been napping in the shade. Now here's the thing that gets me. Kaiser doesn't bark. He doesn't make a sound. He just knows. Watch his body language in the footage. Ears forward, entire body tense. He's calculating. In one fluid motion, he's on his feet and sprinting. Emma's foot is literally over the water when Kaiser reaches her. He doesn't tackle her, nothing aggressive. He grabs her shirt, the back of her little pink t-shirt in his teeth, and pulls. She stumbles backward, confused, probably a little annoyed. And Kaiser? He positions himself between Emma and that pool, like a furry barricade. Then, and this is my favorite part, he starts herding her back toward the house, nudging her with his nose every time she tries to turn around. Mom found them at the back door 3 minutes later. Emma was crying because Kaiser wouldn't let her see the water. She had no idea. Absolutely no idea. But dogs aren't the only heroes in these stories. Florida, naturally, because where else would this happen? A 4-year-old boy named Marcus is playing in his backyard sandbox. It's one of those big turtle-shaped ones, you know the kind. His mom's watching from the kitchen window, but she glances away for maybe 20 seconds to check something on the stove. The security camera catches what she doesn't see. A 4-foot eastern diamondback rattlesnake sliding through the grass, heading straight for the sandbox. And Marcus? He's building a castle, completely oblivious, humming something that sounds like the Paw Patrol theme song. But Whiskers, and yes, that's actually the cat's name, Whiskers is sunbathing on the patio. She's this tiny calico, maybe 8 pounds, soaking wet. She sees the snake when it's about 15 feet out. Here's what's incredible. Cats are naturally afraid of snakes. It's instinctive. But watch what Whiskers does. She doesn't run. She pops up. You can see her tail go from normal to 3 times its size in the footage. Then she does this sideways hop thing, putting herself directly in the snake's path, between the snake and Marcus. The snake coils. You can see it in the video, the rattle going. And this little cat, she should be terrified. She holds her ground, hissing, spitting, one paw raised and claws out. For almost a full minute, it's this standoff. Cat versus rattlesnake. David and Goliath, backyard edition. The snake finally decides Whiskers is too much trouble. It turns and slides back into the brush. Marcus never even looked up from his sandcastle. Mom came outside 2 minutes later and found Whiskers sitting guard at the edge of the sandbox, still puffed up, still ready. The snake expert they called said that cat absolutely saved that little boy from a potentially fatal bite. Not all the dangers are external, though. Sometimes the threat comes from within. 7-year-old Lily has epilepsy. Her parents know it, they're careful, but she's at that age where she wants independence. She wants to play in her room alone, like her friends do. The security camera, her parents installed it not to spy, but just to keep an eye on things, you know? It's a Saturday morning. Lily's on her bedroom floor arranging her stuffed animals in some elaborate scenario only a 7-year-old brain could devise. Her golden retriever, Sunny, is sprawled next to her, doing what golden retrievers do best, existing peacefully and shedding everywhere. Then it happens. Lily goes still. You can see it in the footage, this moment where everything just stops. Then she starts seizing, and Sunny's head snaps up instantly. This is the part that makes me emotional every single time I watch it. Sunny has had no formal seizure training. None. But she's witnessed Lily's seizures before. And somehow, and I mean somehow, she's learned what to do. First, Sunny positions herself next to Lily. She's not panicking. She's not barking hysterically. She gently, carefully uses her body to roll Lily onto her side. Recovery position. Then, and this is documented clear as day on camera, Sunny runs to Lily's bedroom door and starts barking. Loud, persistent, that something's wrong bark. Lily's dad is downstairs. He hears it, recognizes it immediately, and sprints up. He's there in 20 seconds. But here's what he sees when he bursts through the door. Sunny lying next to Lily, head on the little girl's chest, applying pressure. Keeping her calm. Like she understood that's what Lily needed. The seizure passed. Lily was okay. And when she came to, the first thing she did was hug Sunny and whisper, "Good girl. I dare you not to cry at that." Sometimes pets protect kids from dangers that have 2 legs instead of none, or 4. Ring doorbell camera, suburban neighborhood in Ohio. 3:30 in the afternoon. 9-year-old Jake gets home from school and his mom's running late, stuck in traffic, called him to say she'll be there in 10 minutes. Jake's old enough to wait outside. He's sitting on the front steps, backpack next to him, probably scrolling on the phone he's not supposed to have at school. A car pulls up. Older model sedan, kind of beat up. A man gets out. Mid-40s, the police would later estimate. He approaches Jake with this too friendly smile, starts talking. The audio's not great, but investigators think he was asking for directions. The classic tactic. Jake's being polite. He's been taught to help people. He stands up, starts pointing down the street. But watch the front window. See that? That's Moose, the family's Rottweiler. He's been sleeping inside, but something woke him up. He's at the window now, watching. And you can see, even through the glass, even on this grainy footage, you can see the change in his posture. The man takes a step closer to Jake. Just one step, but it's one too many for Moose. The barking starts, deep, loud, aggressive. The kind of barking that rattles windows. Then you see Moose disappear from the window, and 5 seconds later, you hear him at the front door, throwing himself against it, over and over. The door's locked, but Moose doesn't care. He sounds absolutely feral. The man? He's backing away fast, hands up, that fake smile gone. He's in his car and peeling out before Jake even understands what just happened. Mom got home 4 minutes later. Police pulled the footage, circulated the description. Turns out that same car had been spotted in 3 neighboring towns, all near elementary schools. They never identified the guy, but he never came back either. Jake's mom had the door reinforced the next day. And Moose got a stake the size of his head.
Here's one that still gives me chills because of how random it is, how easily it could have gone differently. 6-year-old Aiden, backyard in Seattle. He's eating apple slices at the picnic table. Healthy snack, right? Mom approved. But what nobody knew was that this particular apple had been contaminated with traces of peanut at the processing facility. And Aiden? Severe peanut allergy. The kind where EpiPens aren't optional, they're survival. He takes 3 bites. On the security footage, you can time it. 3 bites, maybe 45 seconds apart. Then he puts the apple down, touches his throat. His beagle, Copper, is under the table hoping for scraps. Aiden stands up, wobbles a little. The reaction is fast, anaphylaxis fast. His face is starting to swell. He's trying to call for his mom, but his voice is barely a whisper. The camera's facing him, and you can see the fear in his eyes. He's 6 years old, and he knows something is very, very wrong. But he can't make his voice work. Copper crawls out from under the table, looks up at Aiden, and then, I swear this is on video, Copper runs full speed toward the house, stops at the sliding glass door, and starts howling. Not barking, howling. This mournful, desperate sound that makes every hair on your body stand up. Mom's inside, doing dishes with music on, but Copper's howl cuts through everything. She turns around and sees him at the door, sees him running back and forth, and something in her gut just knows. She's outside in seconds, sees Aiden, sees the swelling, grabs the EpiPen from the emergency kit they keep by the back door. The paramedics said later that another 2 minutes, and they might not have made it in time. Aiden spent 1 night in the hospital for observation. Copper spent that night curled up on the hospital room floor, refusing to leave. The nurses didn't have the heart to make him. Let's talk about the ones who can't call for help at all. The babies. 15-month-old Sophie, nursery camera, 2 in the morning. She's sleeping in her crib, and everything looks perfectly normal. Parents are asleep down the hall. But the family cat, a big Maine Coon named Thor, he's in the room. He usually sleeps with the parents, but tonight he's chosen Sophie's room. On the video, you can see Thor on top of the dresser just watching. Cats do that, right? They watch. But then Thor stands up, ears forward, tail twitching. He's staring at Sophie's crib with this laser focus. He jumps down, lands silent like cats do, and pads over to the crib. Puts his paws up on the railing, looking in. Then he starts meowing, loud, persistent, that yowling cry that cats do when they want something now. Sophie's dad hears it, groans, checks the baby monitor. He's about to yell at the cat to shut up when he actually looks at the video feed. Sophie's not moving. At all.
No chest rise, nothing. He's in that room so fast he doesn't remember the actual running part. Turns on the light, rushes to the crib, and Sophie's blue. She stopped breathing. They never found out why. Maybe a position thing, maybe something medical they never identified. But she wasn't breathing. Dad starts infant CPR. Mom's calling 911. And Thor? Thor's sitting on the dresser again, calm now, watching. Job done. Sophie started breathing on her own before the paramedics arrived. The doctors at the ER said the quick response saved her life, prevented brain damage. Asked how the parents knew to check on her. Dad just pointed at Thor and said, "He told us." The ER doctor, this is in the report, the ER doctor reached over and scratched Thor behind the ears and said, "Good cat. Very good cat."
I want to tell you about Max and the fire, because this one's different. 3-year-old twin boys, Nathan and Noah, afternoon nap time in Virginia. Their mom's downstairs. Their pit bull Max is doing what he always does, sleeping on the floor between their 2 toddler beds. It's his spot. He's been their guardian since they came home from the hospital. The camera shows everything's peaceful. The boys are sleeping. Max is sleeping. It's just a normal Tuesday afternoon. Until it isn't. In the footage, you see smoke starting to seep under the bedroom door. Thin at first, then thicker. Turns out there was an electrical fire in the wall, smoldering, spreading. The smoke alarms haven't gone off yet. They're downstairs, and the smoke's rising from the basement up through the walls first. Max's head lifts. He smells it before the camera shows anything significant. Watch his reaction time. He's on his feet in under a second. First, he goes to Nathan's bed, grabs the little boy's pajama shirt in his teeth, pulls. Nathan wakes up crying, confused. Max doesn't stop. He drags Nathan toward the door, then runs back for Noah, does the same thing. Both boys are crying now, scared, but Max is hurting them. The door is cracked open, lucky break, and Max is pushing them with his body, forcing them toward the hallway, away from the smoke that's getting thicker by the second. The boys are toddling down the hallway, Max right behind them, when Mom comes running up the stairs. She finally heard them crying. She sees the smoke, grabs both boys, and Max won't leave until all 3 of them are outside. The fire department arrived 6 minutes later. The chief said if those boys had stayed in that room another 5 minutes with the smoke accumulation, they wouldn't have made it. The smoke alarms finally went off when the fire broke through into the main house, but by then, Max had already done his job. Local news covered it. Max got a medal from the fire department. But honestly, the best part of the video is at the very end. After everyone's outside and safe, you can see Max doing a head count, looking at Nathan, looking at Noah, looking at Mom, making sure his pack is complete. Last story, and this one's lighter, because sometimes pet heroism looks different than you'd expect. 5-year-old Mia, home with a new babysitter. Parents are out for their anniversary dinner, first time leaving Mia with someone who's not family. They've got the nanny cam running, not because they don't trust the sitter, but because, parents. Everything's fine for the first hour. Dinner, playtime, the usual routine. But then bedtime comes, and Mia doesn't want to go to bed. She wants her mom. She wants her dad. She's working herself up into one of those crying fits that kids can sustain for impressive amounts of time. The babysitter's trying. You can see she's really trying. But she's young, maybe 19, and she's starting to panic.
Mia's getting more upset. The babysitter's getting more flustered. It's escalating. Enter Bella, the family's border collie. Border collies are smart, like scary smart. And Bella's been watching this whole scene unfold. On the camera, you can see her thinking. She leaves the room, and the babysitter probably thinks, "Great, even the dog's abandoning me." But 30 seconds later, Bella comes back. She's carrying Mia's favorite stuffed rabbit in her mouth. She walks right up to crying Mia and drops the rabbit in her lap. Mia stops mid-sob, surprised, grabs the rabbit, hugs it. Bella's not done. She runs off again, comes back with a blanket. Then she circles twice and lays down right next to Mia's bed, looking up at her with those border collie eyes that seem to say, "See, I'm staying right here." Mia climbs into bed, still sniffling, clutching her rabbit. The babysitter, bless her heart, looks like she might cry from relief. And Bella? Bella stays next to that bed until Mia falls asleep, then stays there the entire night. When the parents got home and watched the footage, Mom cried. Dad tried not to. The babysitter got hired permanently, and Bella got a promotion from family pet to official co-parent.
You know what gets me about all these stories? These animals, they weren't trained for this. Nobody taught Kaiser to pull a toddler away from water. Nobody showed Whiskers how to face down a rattlesnake, or explained to Sunny about seizure response, or gave Moose a lesson on stranger danger. They just knew. Because somewhere in that bond between kids and their pets, there's something we don't fully understand. Something that goes beyond training or instinct, or even love, maybe. So tonight, when you're locking up your house, checking your security cameras, making sure everything's safe, take a second. Look at the family pet, because you might just be looking at a hero who hasn't had their moment yet. And honestly, I hope they never have to. But if they do, well, now you know they will. If these stories touched you the way they touched me, I'd really appreciate it if you'd hit that subscribe button. It helps me bring you more incredible true stories like these every week. So make sure you're subscribed and have notifications turned on. Until then, give your pet an extra scratch behind the ears for me. They've earned it.